Hey, welcome everybody back to the LWN Network and Headline Hits. It is time for another version of Headline Hits. We do it here every day on the LWN Network, Monday through Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So welcome on in. We got some headlines to cover, as you can see next to me, and more than that as well. It is March 20th, 2025. It is Thursday, the last Headline Hits of the week, you guys. So once again, thanks for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel as we continue to build it into a 24/7 network channel, and we are looking so forward to that. A lot of good things to bring to you, the viewer. So thanks again, and I am Tammy Nation, and let's go ahead and start digging into these headlines this morning. First one up is President Donald Trump is moving forward with plans to abolish the Department of Education. Trump is expected to sign an executive order following through on a campaign promise to disband the department, claiming on the campaign trail that the department was full of radicals, zealots, and Marxists. A White House fact sheet states that the move will turn over education to families instead of bureaucrats. Trump and proponents of eliminating the department have long said the agency has failed American students. The National Assessment of Educational Progress, NAEP, scores reveal a national crisis. Our children are falling behind, stated Harrison Fields, the White House principal deputy press secretary. Over the past 4 years, Democrats have allowed millions of illegal minors into the country, straining school resources and diverting focus from American students. Coupled with the rise of the anti-American CRT and DEI indoctrination, this is harming our most vulnerable, he added. President Trump's executive order to expand educational opportunities will empower parents, states, and communities to take control and improve outcomes for all students. Linda McMahon elected to lead the agency on March 3rd. They voted her in, elected her in. She issued a memo later that day outlining her support for the Trump administration's plans for the department and that she would oversee. And she said, a new era of accountability in the agency's final days. The reality of our education system is stark, and the American people have elected President Trump to make significant changes in Washington. Our job is to respect the will of the American people and the president they elected, who has tasked us with accomplishing the elimination of bureaucratic bloat here at the Department of Education, a momentous final mission, quickly and responsibly. Following reports that Trump planned to sign the executive order, the American Federation of Teachers issued a statement imploring Congress to oppose the education order and to make clear to the president that the federal government, in the face of this order, will not abdicate its responsibility to all children, students, and working families who deserve a future full of promise, possibility, and not diminished dreams. The Department of Education and the laws it is supposed to execute has one major purpose: to level the playing field and fill opportunity gaps to help every child in America succeed. The American Federation of Teachers President Randy Weingarten said in a March 5th statement, trying to abolish it, which, by the way, only Congress can do, sends a message that the president doesn't care about opportunity for all kids. Maybe he cares about it for his own kids or his friends' kids or his donors' kids, but not all kids. Despite spending billions of dollars on education, students' outcomes haven't fared any better. The White House cited 13 Baltimore high schools in which no students tested proficient in mathematics in 2023, as well as money spent to teach radical ideologies. Despite President Trump's order, he does need Congress to sign off on eradicating this agency under Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution. Such a measure will require 60 votes to pass in the Senate, and there are only 53 Republicans currently. The Trump administration recently canceled $226 million in grants under the Comprehensive Centers program that forced radical agendas onto states and systems, including race-based discrimination and gender ideology identity. In addition, Trump has supported bringing education back to the states and rethinking of schools. I want every parent in America to be empowered to send their child to public, private, charter, or faith-based schools of their choice. He said, the time for universal school choice has come. As we return to education to the states, I will use every power I have to give parents this right. And I don't know about you, but I definitely agree about that. The next article up that we have, Checkmate, you guys. On Tuesday, Theodore Chang, an Obama appointee, ordered Elon Musk and Doge to reinstate all of USAID's functionality. Now we have seen the examples of wasteful spending and money laundering type of deals USA has done. Yet the lawsuit was brought by current and former USAID workers. Chung said Doge's decision to shut down USAID violated the Constitution's Appointments Clause and the separation of powers. The plaintiffs argue that Elon Musk is operating with unchecked power since he is not Senate confirmed, and that since Elon Musk is not Senate confirmed, he should be barred from issuing orders to anyone inside of the executive branch. But the judge barred Doge from any further actions related to USAID's closure. Well, it appears Doge figured out a way to checkmate that judge. A senior Doge official has now taken over USAID and will have authority over the agency. In an email obtained by the Associated Press, Pete Morocco, a Trump appointee in the State Department who was serving in a leadership role at USAID, revealed this change. The email was sent on the same day Judge Schwang issued an absurd ruling. The email states, he will serve as the State Department's head of foreign assistance. Morocco wrote that the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, will effective immediately designate Jeremy Lewin as Deputy Administrator for Policy and Programs at USAID and as Chief Operating Officer. Pete Morocco, who was serving as Deputy Head of USAID, disclosed the change in the email sent to the department state staff. It comes after Morocco and Doge oversaw the gutting of 83% of USAID contracts, shifting the remaining programs under the State Department. Morocco said in his email that he will serve as the State Department's head of foreign assistance. You know, every day, you guys, we are seeing what the Trump administration is facing, trying to clean things up with the constant lawsuits and federal judge battles. However, they've kind of outsmarted them this time around. Let's see what happens as this, progresses down through the next coming days. Next up, we have another federal judge, Beryl Howell, ruled in favor of the Trump administration on Wednesday after a government-funded nonprofit organization filed a lawsuit protecting itself from ongoing destruction Doge. The U.S. Institute for Peace filed a request for a temporary restraining order on Tuesday, claiming that Doge had committed literal trespass and takeover by force of the Institute's headquarters building on Constitution Avenue. The organization also accused the Anti-Waste Initiative of ongoing destruction of the Institute's physical and electronic property. Defendants have been and are at this minute engaged in conduct that will cause the Institute irreparable harm that will prevent the Institute from performing any of its lawful functions and is likely to utterly destroy it, the lawsuit stated. I think there is confusion in the complaint that make me uncomfortable, Howell said. Not really a fan of Doge's operations, the judge said. I am very offended by how Doge has operated in the Institute in treating American citizens, but that concern about how this has gone down is not one that can sway me in my consideration of factors for TRO, which is emergency relief, which is exceptional, she said. Two of the most important tests likely to succeed on the merits and likely to suffer irreparable harm are just a stretch here, Howell said. So USIP is an independent institution funded by Congress. It was established in 1984 under the Reagan administration, and its goal is to protect U.S. interests by helping to prevent violent conflicts and broker peace deals abroad, according to its website. Our work helps keep America safe, reducing the risk that the United States will be drawn into costly foreign wars that drive terrorism, criminal gangs, and migration, the agency's website reads. We help make America stronger by projecting U.S. influence and bolstering partner countries in regions destabilized by China and other U.S. adversaries. USIP had infamously not complied with President Donald Trump's February executive order to pull back the scope of federal bureaucracy, refusing to reduce its size to the statutory minimum listed in the order. And as such, the Trump administration fired 11 of its 14 board members last week, leaving only Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, and National Defense University President Peter Garvin. Howell's decision came shortly after the White House reported that the Trump administration had gutted USIP of rogue bureaucrats. So they are continuing to fight, even though we are well aware of what happens when USAID, all the different things they did were reported, that DOJ was finding out. They sure are firing back, and they're fighting a fight that is, to me, a losing battle when we see all the ultimate decisions that initially go in with judges and how it changes. So they're trying to rig the system once again to keep power and control. Next up, we have Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem. She came out and made a statement about swatters. She said, under President Trump's leadership, we will not sit idly by as conservative news media and their families are being targeted by false swatting. DHS has the ability to trace phone numbers and track location information. They were able to use it to hunt down these cowards in this attack on our law enforcement and innocent families, and we will prosecute it as such. Amen to that. We know swatting's been an issue for a long time with conservatives, and it's good to see that efforts are being made to hold those who bring false accusations against someone be held accountable. Next up, President Trump released this statement on his phone call with Zelensky. Just completed a very good phone call with President Zelensky of Ukraine. It lasted approximately 1 hour. Much of the discussion was based on the call made yesterday with President Putin in order to align both Russia and Ukraine in terms of their requests and needs. We are very much on track. So that is good progress, everyone, because we know, well aware of all the shenanigans that have gone on with President Zelensky, the actions that he has taken, the things that he said, then he's retracted. And supposedly now everything's calming down. We're very much on track. There's more work to be done, but that is positive news after President Trump talked to Putin and Zelensky this week. Next up, this is a big one. An anti-Trump FBI agent was arrested and charged for disclosing classified information. Jonathan Booma allegedly disclosed international classified documents and text messages to associates. Court documents revealed that Jonathan Booma had printed 130 files from the FBI's internal network, with many of the documents marked with warnings that the information is confidential. According to ABC News, the feds nabbed Jonathan Booma as he was about to hop on the international flight on Monday. Booma shared a draft of a book he was writing about his career in the FBI with colleagues, and it contains sensitive information, the charges document said. Last year, Jonathan Booma told Business Insider that political bias under Trump's first administration pushed him to become a whistleblower. Booma, a 15-year veteran of the FBI who speaks Russian, said that the FBI ignored his so-called leads linking Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, to Russian intelligence. Rudy Giuliani may have compromised by individuals suspected of being involved in Russian counterintelligence influence operations, Jonathan Booma told Business Insider in a recent interview. I saw important intelligence information being suppressed, he claims. He also said that Hunter Biden, Burisma's story, get this, and the laptop from hell were part of a disinformation campaign. Haven't we heard that over and over again by these lefties? Booma was eventually prohibited from investigating anyone connected to President Trump. As these stories come out, we see it is incredible at the levels that people from all walks of life had tried to take President Trump down. It really would be nice if the focus was against those harming America and American citizens. I think you guys can agree, instead of wasting plenty of taxpayers' money, your and my money and effort, trying to take down the one person who has diligently fought for America and Americans, which is President Donald J. Trump. This up next as well. Someone didn't learn their lesson. Just out, a convicted criminal who had his sentence commuted by President Biden is back behind bars. Well, that didn't take long for 52-year-old Willie Peterson. He's been arrested for multiple drug-related offenses, and this is the kind of people that President Biden at the time commuted their sentences and their verdicts and let him free. So he's back in because of drug-related offenses. Like I said, he didn't learn his lesson. And then lastly for today, Trump released this statement on his social media regarding Iran. Reports are coming in that while Iran has lessened its intensity on military equipment and general support to the Houthis, they are still sending large level of supplies. Iran must stop the sending of these supplies immediately. Let the Houthis fight it out themselves. Either way, they lose, but this way, they lose quickly. Tremendous damage has been inflicted upon the Houthi barbarians, and watch how it will get progressively worse. It is not even a fair fight, and it never will be. They will be completely annihilated. So we've heard repeatedly over and over again when President Donald J. Trump says and gives warnings that people will be completely annihilated. He's giving warnings. He's giving them chances, and they don't seem to be wanting to pay attention. He's serious with this business because it's been carrying on for so long with no resolution. So we hope that the Russia-Ukraine gets settled and there's a peace deal that is being made and settled in and it gets resolved. And we hope that Iran will stop doing what they've been asked to stop doing. So that's what I have for you guys today, you guys. It is the last one for the week. It's Thursday, March 20th, 2025. We do this Monday through Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time on the LWN network. So much going on all the time. Thank you for joining us. You know, stay strong and diligent out there. All these little tentacles that keep coming out when we hear these major stories. We are seeing how these different judges are trying to fight and block the Trump administration from doing their job, which is cleaning up the government, cleaning up different aspects of money laundering and corruption. And it is important to pay attention to the details because we know that the left spins it as Trump trying to be an oligarch and control everything and wipe everything out. And it's going to harm us, the United States, American citizens. And it is not. We have to pay attention to the details that sometimes can be tedious. Sometimes they can be boring, but they are important. So we are well educated and informed on exactly what is going on through this Trump administration. So thank you again. Take care. God bless. You guys have a beautiful, wonderful weekend. And I will catch you guys for another Headline Hits on Monday. See you later.